Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Monday, June the 6th, 2016. The tarot card for today is the Six of Swords. Now, it hasn't been that long since we've seen this. The last time was May 19th. And this one comes to us from the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. You know, what I kind of like about this is the woman in this card looks thankful, all right? She looks as though she's saying, please guide me to where I need to go. And so many of you now have reached that point where it's not a giving up, it's more like a giving in to the guidance of the universe and allowing yourself to wind up wherever it is you're supposed to be. We do all have free will and we can choose whatever it is we want to do, but sometimes we can become too fixated on a certain objective, and it's not in our best interest to do that. So this is showing that you're actually being guided to a better place and allowing yourself to be guided. And there is so much that's happening here. All right, because life is basically one big transition, but this is an important one that's taking place right now. There was a mutable Grand Cross on Saturday at the new moon. Okay? And, the mutable signs, they prepare you for the coming season. And they're helping to usher in the change. Because we all know we've been talking about the solstice. The solstice. It is coming. And it's like that boat is just taking you in that direction, toward that shore. It's almost as though when you get to June the 20th, you get to step out of that boat and be on dry land at the end of the month and look at what's coming. All right? A lot of you out there are under the impression that this means you've totally arrived. Okay? But what it really means is that you'll have your future right in front of you. So you're getting closer and closer by the day. But this is a necessary transition that you're going through right now. And, it hasn't all been wonderful, for sure. There's been a lot that has happened to each of you. And one of the things I need to remind you of with this card is don't take the excess baggage from your past experiences with you when you get to the future. Okay? This is extremely important because if you do that, then all of this change is basically for naught because it's going to interfere with coming relationships, okay, and with your plans for the future. If you keep, letting those things that happen to you affect you. That's difficult, I know. It's very difficult. Man, I've done this all my life, all right? I really, truly have done this all my life. It's not easy, but I pretty much have learned that when something's done and I'm done, I have nothing else to do with it. And I have to move on. So there you go. It's not an easy thing to do, but you are almost done with this part of the transition. And then I'm trying to explain this so that everyone understands where they're headed, okay? But you're coming into this new transition by the end of June, which is, taking you somewhere better. I don't think it's where you think you're going. Okay, some of you have a very, very fixed idea in your head of how things will be. And, this card indicates you kind of need to let the universe help guide you in the right direction. So you may think you know where you're going, but you're actually being taken somewhere that you're probably going to like a whole lot better because you hadn't thought of it. Okay? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But I think a lot of you are going to be, let's say if you start at the end of this June. Okay, here we go. I can hear the comments now. But what starts at the end of this June, when you get to really before next June, all right, of 2017. I'm going to say by like April, all right, you're just like, wow, wow, what happened? My life has really, really changed. I think that's when, the feeling of this card of letting go of that excess baggage. I don't think there's any baggage with you at that point, because when you realize where you've arrived, okay, like I said, it's like that boat is taking you somewhere this month, okay, and then you start the next leg of your journey. But by, like, say, next April, there's some different points of things happening. We're going to have a Venus retrograde next year. And I think by the time that retrograde is over, a lot of you are going to be going, okay, wow, how did that happen? So, life is ever changing. So I don't want to hear the messages, oh my goodness, Cecilia, you pushed it back. I didn't push anything back. You live your life 24/7, and it's always changing. So I'm always going to be talking about things that are coming. And it's going to be fascinating to see what happens when we get to the solstice. And I'm curious, I'll throw this out there, if I have time and if I get an overwhelming response, would y'all like for me to do a special video of tarot guidance for the solstice, which covers that new leg of the journey? I'm open for it. I'm thinking that would be a good time to do one. So let me know about that, okay? And I guess I've talked long enough, so I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here tomorrow, and as always, have a great day.